Okay, so today we're talking about something that pretty much every serious athlete uses, wearables. Your fitness trackers, your GPS units. They're absolutely incredible tools for performance. But here's the thing, they also collect your most sensitive biological data. And if you're not careful, that data can become one of your biggest career risks. Let's break down exactly how this happens, and more importantly, how you can stop it.
This quote, it really comes from the story of an athlete we're going to call Lexi. Now, she tracked everything, her sleep, her recovery, her mobility, especially while she was rehabbing a knee injury. She synced all her data to a team app, which then shared it with a third party. So what happened? Right before her contract negotiation, a scout's report flagged her as a high injury risk. And just like that, the deal fell through. Her talent was never in question, but her data, it betrayed her.
Lexi's story is a really powerful reminder that every single time you strap on a device, you're recording your own biology. And you gotta understand, that information is absolute gold to scouts, to teams, sponsors, and, unfortunately, even to cybercriminals. If you don't control it, you can be sure someone else will try to. Just think about your Whoop, or your Aura Ring, or maybe the Catapult unit you wear in practice. They are constantly gathering an incredible amount of information. And we're talking about everything from your heart rate variability and your sleep quality to your exact GPS location on the field. Even your explosiveness off the line, and your fatigue levels deep into the fourth quarter. This isn't just data, you see. It's literally a digital blueprint of your physical state at any given moment.
So, why does this all matter so much? Well, because if this data leaks, the fallout can be massive. It can be used against you in contract negotiations, just like it was with Lexi. It could cause the sponsor to pull a big deal. It can even give a rival team a huge competitive edge. There's a story about an Olympic hopeful whose sleep data was leaked to a competing team right before the trials. All of a sudden, recruiters who had been really interested started seeing a potential risk, and their interest just cooled. Her performance hadn't changed at all, but the perception that her data created, that changed everything.
So this brings us to a really crucial and honestly often misunderstood point: data ownership. Just because the data is about your body and it's collected by a device you're wearing, it doesn't automatically mean you own it or even control it. So let's get into what that really means.
So, who does own it? The honest answer is, well, it depends. It almost always comes down to the fine print in a contract and, this is critical, who provided the equipment in the first place. This is a distinction that can literally make or break your control over your own biological information.
So this really breaks down into two key scenarios. On one hand, if you're using team-issued gear or syncing to a team-owned platform, your contract probably states that the data is team property. But on the other hand, even with your own personal devices, you're not automatically in the clear. You're subject to the app's terms and conditions, and in a lot of cases, especially with free apps, the company itself claims ownership of all the data it collects.
So, here's the crucial takeaway, a simple rule of thumb. If you didn't read the fine print, and let's be honest, who really does, you have to assume the company owns your data. Just make that your default setting. Before you ever sync a device, especially to a team platform, you need to talk to your agent or a team rep. You have to be the one asking the hard questions about who owns and who controls that data stream.
Okay, so now that we understand the risks in that whole ownership puzzle, let's switch gears and go on defense. It's time to take some practical steps to lock down all those smart devices you use every single day, and basically create your own digital locker room.
We're really talking about your Internet of Things, or IoT devices. Now that sounds super technical, but it's really just all the smart connected gear in your life. We're not just talking about your watch either. It's your Normatec recovery boots, it's the connected treadmill at the gym, and it's even your smart scale at home. All of them collect and share data. And securing these devices is actually easier than you'd think. First, and I can't say this enough, always change the default password. It's the front door to your data, and you don't want the key to be admin or 1234. Second, try to never connect to public Wi-Fi in hotels or coffee shops when you're syncing sensitive data. Third, if you're not using Bluetooth or Wi-Fi, just turn them off. It closes an unnecessary entry point. And finally, update your device's firmware. Those updates often have critical security patches that you need.
And this is why convenience can be so dangerous. You really want to avoid syncing every single one of your devices to a single account or connecting them all to the same Wi-Fi network. Why? Because if just one of those devices gets compromised, it can create a chain reaction, like a set of falling dominoes. A hacker gets into your smart scale, which is linked to your fitness app, which is linked to your email, and suddenly your whole digital life is exposed.
Here is another really key question to ask, especially when you're using equipment at a training facility. Let's say your trainer sets up a device using their email or their account. Well, your data isn't yours anymore. It's tied to them. So before you sync, you always have to ask, whose account is this? Where is my data actually being stored? If you can't get a clear answer, just don't sync.
So all of this leads us to our final and probably most important takeaway. I want you to think of this as your own personal mental firewall, a final checklist that you need to run through before you ever connect a new piece of technology to your life and your body.
It all comes down to 4 simple but really powerful questions. You need to memorize them, use them. They're your first line of digital defense.
So, before you connect anything, you have to ask, number 1, what specific data is this device collecting? And be precise. Number 2, who has access to it? Is it just me? Is it the team, the company, some third party I've never heard of? Number 3, how is that data protected? Are they using encryption? What are their security standards? And number 4, and this is a big one, can I delete my data permanently if I choose to? Look, if you can't get clear, confident answers to all 4 of these questions, then don't use the tech. The risk is just not worth the reward. Your data is your career, so you need to protect it like one.